Are you guys ready to explore the Nick Cage cinematic universe?
Yeah!
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's explore the Nick Cage cinematic universe.
I said, put the bunny back in the box.
Let's explore the Nick Cage cinematic universe.
Did I ever tell you that this here jacket represents a symbol of my individuality and my belief in personal freedom?
Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast! Pissed!
Hey everyone, welcome to Straight Jacket Talk, where it's two guys, a girl, and a horror show. My name is Kevin, and I'm joined by a guy who gets ready for the show by screaming in the bathroom in his underwear. It's Nathan.
Mm-hmm. That's where I keep my bottle of vodka, under the sink there.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
good.
It's like Black Christmas,
Oh, yeah.
right? The lady.
Mrs. Mac.
This is Matt.
I'm also joined by a girl who laughs in the face of pretentious naked dudes. It's Gill.
Absolutely. You got to bring them down a peg.
And we have a very special guest. We have Bear Claw from the Mouths of Madness podcast joining us, because he is our favorite bear to the claw. Bear Claw, thanks for joining us.
Oh yeah, excited to be here, Kevin. This is going to be a journey, and we're all on it together. So I couldn't be more excited.
Whether we want to or not, we're on this journey.
Yeah. Willing or otherwise. This is a journey we're going on together.
Let's dive in. We watched Mandy from 2018. It was directed by...
Oh, no.
Panos Cosmatos.
There you go.
Panos Cosmatos.
It was also written by...
Panos Cosmatos.
Coolest name ever.
along with Aaron Stewart on. Bear Claw, I'm glad you said that, because I almost thought his name was like made intentionally for this movie. Like he was using a pen name or a pseudonym.
That's what I thought. Is that not the case? Or is that his real name?
He's just Greek.
That's an awesome
Italian.
real name.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just real Italian, yeah. Cosmatos,
Yeah, wow.
like he just, you get cosmic imagery of like.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, his name is perfect to be the director of this movie.
Everything about this movie fits. Everything.
Like a puzzle. Something I learned today. Elijah Wood is a producer of this movie. Did you know
That's
that?
wild.
That also
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense.
Well, Elijah Wood is like a weirdo cinephile type guy who produces weird shit, apparently.
That's awesome. You know what's even more awesome is this movie stars Nicolas Cage.
Motherfucking Cage.
Oh,
Right.
Nicolas Cage. You
I don't care
swirly
what
bastard.
anybody feels about him. I love him.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I will go to
yeah.
battle and defend him every time.
I love Nicolas Cage. Even when he's in a bad movie, he can be entertaining all by himself. So
Renfield.
I haven't seen that, but I'm sure he's entertaining.
Yeah, don't watch it. It's not good.
He's a good Count Dracula, but you're absolutely right. The movie is just awful.
Disappointing. Yeah.
You should see the
Dang.
whiteboard I have. I'm coming together with a unified theory of Cage, where I'm going to connect every Nicolas Cage movie through some type of half-baked conspiracy theory.
Oh my
Doing a
God.
Charlie Day thing here.
Yeah, exactly. Pepe Sylvia.
Pepe Sylvia, Pepe Sylvia. I look in the mail. Well, this whole box is Pepe Sylvia.
Bear Claw's got the 7 degrees of Nick Cage separation
7
there.
degrees
Like,
Nicolas Cage.
they all fit. Can't you see? They all fit. The bees!
Independently, it doesn't make sense, but when you put it all together, it's a beautiful mosaic.
Just like Nicolas Cage. Oh my goodness. Mandy had a budget of $6 million. Do you know how much it made at the box office? Bear Claw, you're the guest. We'll start with you.
$100 million.
Ooh.
Wow.
Nathan, what are you thinking?
Even though I know it had kind of a bad run at the theaters, but no, it was $6 million. Let me think about it for a second. So $6 million.
He's retracted.
I'm going to say it $15 million.
Did this even have a full release in the theaters? I know it's a Shudder original.
It was in the theaters.
Was it? Like,
Yep.
in all of them, wide release?
Maybe not all of them, but I know it was in theaters.
I just can't imagine this movie actually doing well with a mainstream audience. I'm going to say it lost money. I'm going to say it made $4 million.
Okay, I'm not piggybacking off of Bear Claw, because right before he answered, we like telepathically like talked to each other, and I was like 15. So yeah, I'm going to say 15. Was it billion?
15
Million?
billion.
Yeah.
15 billion, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
that one.
This movie should have made 15 billion, but
I agree,
unfortunately, Nathan's the closest, even though everybody went over.
Oh, I went over too.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh.
How much did this make?
$1.4 million.
Oof.
Oh, that explains
That's
why he hasn't had another movie.
He produced the new Miley Cyrus thing that just came out like half a year ago.
A lot of Miley Cyrus
Yeah.
music videos I saw.
That's an interesting choice.
You know what? When I was researching a little bit, I watched like the first song of the Miley Cyrus thing that just came out 6 months ago. It's like really good.
Yeah.
Really? It's supposed to be like a rock opera, which I'm not opposed to. What's that one rock opera from the 80s I like? It's got like Rick Moranis in it. Oh, Streets of Fire.
Never heard of it.
Nobody's heard of it. If you want a rock opera, check out Streets of Fire. It's pretty good. Don't ever watch the sequel, though.
I love Rick Moranis. He's so good.
He's coming out of retirement, too.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's going to do
for
Spaceballs, too.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
What a bunch of assholes.
We're combing the desert.
So just to piggyback off of what you guys are kind of talking about, this movie was released on September 13th, 2018 to 250 theaters. The next day, it was released video on demand. So,
okay, so that makes sense.
It's
not a giant failure then.
They tried to kill it and yet it lived.
Right.
The story of the one who lived.
You can't kill Nicolas Cage.
Can't kill Nicolas Cage. Can't kill this movie. This movie will forever live in my heart. I don't know. I might be showing my cards a little early, but huge.
Do you like this movie? I can't tell.
Oh, I love this movie. I've been so excited to talk about this movie. I'm like bursting at the seams.
All right,
giddy.
let's get into it.
The Letterboxd rating is currently at a 3.6 out of 5 and sits at a 91% on the thermometer. But what did we think of this movie? Before we go any further, if you could please hit the like and subscribe buttons and also hit the notification bell, because when we have a new video, you'll be the first to know. Isn't that right, Nathan?
Yes, it's a privilege.
You can be one of the exclusive few who know when this drops. Be on the inside.
Speaking of drops, this movie was on a lot of LSD, was it not?
Sure was, man.
The movie itself was taking LSD.
The movie itself. Actually, it's funny. I said about the Letterboxd rating. I saw somebody's Letterboxd review. They said this whole movie is one big LSD dream, and they love it. 5 stars.
Yeah. I was super baked when I watched this. I had watched like some of it before, but I got a little too high, and it was too much for me, so I turned it off. So this is my second go.
I can see that. This movie gets a lot quick.
Yeah. And there's this one scene too where I think it's Jeremiah's face and he's talking, but at times his mouth like isn't moving. I was like, is this just me, or like is his mouth not moving? I was so freaked out.
Mandy's face onto his.
I was gonna say,
and it's very freaky.
Oh, it's so Lynch.
Maybe we should start with Bear Claw. And Bear Claw, give us your overall thoughts on Mandy.
It makes a lot of sense that this movie didn't make a ton of money, because I'm pretty sure they made it just for me. So, it was like tailor-made just for me and my taste, because I mean it hit just about everything. I've been so excited to talk about it. I mean, a lot of the movie's detractors have called it just like the cover of the cover art to a rock album. You can see that a lot on the Mandy Reddit, which I frequent, and things like that. It is a cover for a rock album, and it's awesome, and it's got synth music in it, and it's got these massive themes. I mean, there's a couple different ways you can interpret the movie. I've got kind of like a straightforward interpretation of it, and then I've got my own personal kind of interpretation of it that I've kind of worked through over time. And just the lines and Nicolas Cage and chaos and vengeance and this crazy cult and a biker gang, full. I mean, it's just got it all, and it's got that whole Goblin commercial, the for the mac and cheese,
Cheddar Goblin.
Oh my god,
Cheddar Goblin.
I forgot about that.
Oh, I mean,
how do you forget Cheddar Goblin?
I know. How did I forget the cheddar goblin.
My first impression, I got to be honest with you, the title of the movie is probably the worst part of the movie for me because it stopped me from seeing it for a long time because I was like, oh, is this just going to be like a Nicolas Cage action hero movie? I mean, he did do Ghost Rider, so, I mean, we got to throw that into the mix here. But like, it was kind of hesitant about it for a long time, but then it got recommended to me so many times that I was like, all right, I gotta just sit down and watch this thing and just really see what it's all about. And I put it in and I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. Just every moment of this film, I was captured. It had me in its visual style. It had me in the title cards. It had me in the music. I've been listening to progressive rock all day to prepare for this. I've been listening to King Crimson and Starless and Epitaph and Court of the Crimson King, even though I don't think two of those songs weren't in the movie, but Starless was. I'm real excited to talk about this and go through this movie because it is just, to me, this is, as Logan would say, this is cinema. This is, it just from its style and the acting. I mean, Nicolas Cage in that room, like you can feel his pain and just how cathartic the end of the movie is, or he finally gets, what he was after. It was just amazing to me. So I'll stop gushing. I'm kind of fangirling right now. You guys are going to have to calm me down.
No.
That's kind of my impression of this movie is just from beginning to end. It's as close to a perfect movie as I think it can be.
Yeah, it's funny. I've dated a Mandy and I'm married to a Marlene. There's a Marlene in here, so the names is a little weird. I don't know. I don't know how to feel. I want to ask Gill, you said this is your second time watching, but maybe your first time like fully engaged in this movie?
Yeah, first I turned it off like before the like hostage situation happened the first time. Even then it was like too intense for me, so it would have gotten real bad if I kept watching it. I think I just had like the wrong idea of what the movie was about going into it because everyone's like, oh, you should be high when you watch this, but I like overdid it. And so yeah, be wary of that. Yeah, it is a very psychedelic movie and first real time watching it.
Awesome. What's your thoughts now that you've maybe had a better high this time and a better experience?
I love Nicolas Cage. One of my favorite movies is Color Out of Space.
Nice.
And that exactly, and the
cosmic
colors,
horror, I like it.
Cosmic horror, and like the colors are the same. It's that like Lovecraftian kind of purple thing going on. But that's a very special movie to me as well because it was the first episode that I picked for It's Lay's podcast. So it has high standards for me, Color Out of Space. So I was like, oh, Nick Cage is in this and the cover is similar. I didn't really know what it was about. And I kind of wanted like some Color Out of Space. So I think that like brought it down a little bit for me because I don't know.
The intensity on this one is a lot higher than Color Out of Space. Color Out of Space is a real slow burn.
That's the thing too. I found this was a rough watch, honestly. Like even just watching it, I had to like stop and go do some stuff just to like try to process it. But there's some very like visceral scenes, and I find this movie to be very bleak. Even if I know Bear Claw just mentioned the catharsis. I actually found it not cathartic at all for me because I was like, damn, like Mandy worked so hard to get this better life when she had all this like childhood trauma.
And then he gave the crowbar to one of the kids, and then each kid took a turning, killing a starling.
And then you have Red, who, you know, it's hinted at that he has had a violent past, and they found each other. And to me, it's this kind of love story, and it is a love story. I don't know. I know it's horror, but I just really wanted a happier ending, and the ending is so bleak that I don't know, man. I was crying a little bit. It was sad. Yeah, I don't know, Nathan. Tell me some of your thoughts.
My first thought is that Bear Claw wormed into my brain and stole the joke I was going to open with, where this movie was made specifically for me. This movie's great. I love all the psychedelic imagery. There's a lot of Suspiria in there. There's a lot of David Lynch in there. What you were saying about it being like the cover to a heavy metal album or a rock album, that's kind of true. I do love that it takes this really simple revenge story and builds upon that with its visuals, its weird philosophy stuff. I've got a lot to say about how it mirrors a lot of David Lynch's work, but we'll get to that eventually. Yeah, no, I just love this movie. I do agree with you, Gill, that it is quite bleak, but there's no way to make that ending not bleak. To be honest, I mean, Mandy's dead.
Yeah,
like
she's
you can't
free spiritually.
I guess, but like I just wanted them to live happily in the woods, their little simple life. It was so cute. I love that part of the movie where it's showing like the little beats of their life, like reading the books at work, and they're just like smoking and just like watching TV together. That is so strong in this movie.
I mean, the coolest thing is them just watching like the monster movies together and like eating like who doesn't want that sort of love, right?
Right.
Yeah. It spends the entire first hour sort of introducing these characters to you and making you love these sort of simple people who are just want to be left alone and do their thing out in the woods, and they love each other.
And both kind of have some trauma too, right? You can kind of tell that they're both in, like, Mandy, obviously, with the whole starlings and things, she's kind of had a traumatic past, but Mandy's had a lot of trauma, but she's also processed and dealt with a lot of that trauma. Whereas Red might not be all the way there with it, but because Mandy is kind of his crutch and like, and somebody he can lean on, and she is that rock, he's kind of better for it. And, once that rock goes away and things go a little sideways.
It's not shown explicitly, but it is heavily suggested that he's a recovering alcoholic. And the first thing he does after she dies is take his bottle of vodka from under the sink in the bathroom, which only an alcoholic has alcohol there, and drinks like half the bottle.
Relapse. I have several things to say to several things you guys just said about Mandy kind of being his light. I'm just going to spoil my favorite quote. I forget who says this to Red, but they say, is it Jeremiah? He says, "You exude a cosmic darkness."
You exude a cosmic darkness.
And
that's the chemist.
The chemist, sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
So the chemist says that. I don't know. I thought that was very powerful, and it's very apparent that she is what kind of keeps him like on the straight and narrow and happy. Yeah. And I want to go back to also the beginning when they start talking about their favorite planets. I really love that scene. And lots of like thematic things going on there. I think there's a lot of symbolism in the planets. Like Mandy says her favorite is Jupiter.
Well, because the surface of his atmosphere is a storm that's been raging for like 1,000 years.
And it's, this big gas giant that's beautiful and peaceful, except for that red spot, which is a giant raging storm. And I think... Jupiter really symbolizes who Mandy is. Red could be her like storm, his violent past, and the glimpse into his future where he alchemizes the pain of losing the love of his life by avenging her in the bloodiest way possible. But also he says that his favorite planet is Saturn, which is also a giant, beautiful planet. With the mystical rings. And I feel like he could be kind of alluding to Mandy being the rings because they're like magical and beautiful and special, like Jeremiah later on says. But then he jokingly says his favorite is Galactus, like the eater of worlds.
Galactus isn't a planet.
Yeah, but he eats planets.
It does kind of foreshadow what happens to him when he loses her. So I thought that was really well done. And God, it's so sad.
Yeah.
Well, and I also like, and this is also going to play out. It frames them as very connected to kind of nature, the primordial, a little bit more like pagan, kind of like in the woods. Mandy can be seen as a very like self-actualized, strong woman. They're doing their thing and they're happy doing their thing. They're secluded for a reason because that's where they want to be and they're happy there together. But they're also very much like, you know, painting all really cool, like Frank Frazetta like pictures. Mandy's artwork speaks volumes, which Frank Frazetta is like one of the coolest artists of all time, in my opinion. And their kind of attachment to the cosmic is something that is really cool because it kind of shows them she's very much like almost like a, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way, but like a witch kind of character.
Yeah.
Like,
and then she's burned alive at the stake, basically.
She's very connected with nature and things and like the primordial. That's what I think is really cool about the opening.
But Kevin, what are your overall thoughts?
Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry.
No. I wanted to go off of what Bear Claw was saying there. I saw them as Mandy is life and Red is death.
See the Reaper fast approaching.
Come for the Reaper.
And especially when he loses his life, he becomes this mask of death. He's going full out. Like, this is his war. They were the yin to the yang, like you were explaining, Gill, too, with the planet balance and things like that. So it sucks because both characters deserved each other and their peace, but as the audience, it's kind of cool to see Red and his war and his death coming for these people that deserve it. The first time I saw this movie was actually during COVID, and we watched it outside. I had a projector screen, and me and Dan from the Mouths of Madness, we watched it outside, and it was like, I don't know,
sitting 6 feet apart and all that.
Yeah, right. We were trying to do the good thing, but like, it was such a cool experience watching this movie outside on the big screen, and it got like really cold like later on, and it was like, it hit perfect when Nicolas Cage just went full badass. The atmosphere at that time for this movie was unheralded for me. Like, this was like the coolest atmosphere in a movie I had seen in a while. But I didn't really appreciate the movie that much at the time. Like, I thought it was an okay movie. Yeah, it was cool. It was a revenge story. I've had a second and third watch since, and like, each watch for me has gotten so much better, and like, you can see all the nuances and everything now, and like, I appreciate so much of like Nicolas Cage's performance in this, because I think, you know, people show a lot of his scenes and the imagery, and they're kind of, you know, thinking it's over the top or whatever. And I get that, but like, it's very profound. It's like, it sticks in your head forever sort of deal. You know, that image of him at the end in the car and seeing Mandy, and maybe that's some catharsis there of like Bear Claw, you were saying, of maybe she's free or whatever now. I just thought like those images were amazing to watch. The cool colors and everything and the music, it makes this movie really unique and special, and I think different than a lot of other horror movies. It is a slow burn, especially the first hour, Nathan, like you were saying, like, because we're getting to know this couple and their love and their connection, and I think it works so good for that second half of the movie. If you're not used to like the pacing at first, it might be like kind of a tough watch for some people.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. That's a lot of the criticism I read about this movie online is like, oh, well, the first half's pretty boring. It's like, I'm coming at it from my like Mandy oriented mind. It's like, it's so necessary for the second half to be meaningful. Like,
it's not just that it's necessary. If you get invested in these two as a couple, the way I did pretty much immediately, it's really not slow. You know what I'm saying? It's slow.
Yeah.
In the horror department, it doesn't get there till an hour in. But if you invest in the love story, if you love a love story, then the first hour is, to me, it's not that slow. It's just different than what you're going to get in the second hour.
It's my favorite
like
half.
Movies.
I actually thought the second half kind of dragged on a bit. I was just like, okay, we're just like killing all these people. That's cool.
Yeah, I get that.
Also, this gave me big Crow vibes.
Yes.
You got,
Bear Claw.
like
I was thinking this. I was thinking this.
Which had a better soundtrack, though?
I mean, The Crow had the better soundtrack. Nine Inch Nails and Joy
We're
Division.
Gonna fight here.
Yeah, like
Claw's
listen,
getting red.
King Crimson. That's all I gotta say.
yeah, but that's one song.
Yeah, that's
you know, it's funny. I wasn't familiar with that song, and I wrote in my notes, "Wow, this opening song really sounds like King Crimson." And then it came up, "Starless" by King Crimson, and I was like, "Well, that makes sense, doesn't it?" You know, it doesn't have the needle drops that The Crow does. But the score is incredible. I don't want to take anything away from the score.
Jill,
The score is beautiful.
It just has like a good story, good characters, good acting.
Just like The Crow,
all things The Crow doesn't have. So.
Oh boy.
Just
Jill,
like
I thought the same thing when he was watching Mandy burn alive. I'm like, it's just like, you can't do anything. And it's like that helpless feeling. Because that, I think, goes into the revenge angle, too, which makes it... Because it's like throwing gasoline on the revenge angle, right? Because you're helpless and you can't do anything to help, your loved one in that first moment. So that's going to go into everything that's coming to these people. And that's why, like, when he puts on, like, that, that war getup, he's going full bore there. And, like, his buddy there, too, was like, hey... There's a good chance you're not going to survive this.
You should go in knowing that your odds ain't that good, and you will probably die.
Don't be negative.
It was like, yeah, no shit.
When I saw his friend there, and he's from The Predator,
Bill Duke.
He's awesome. It was so. When I saw him, I was like, yes.
Yeah. He also is the guy who directed that movie I talked about a couple episodes ago, Deep Cover, that neo-noir I was talking about not too long ago.
I gotta see that too.
It's so good.
That's on my list.
I want to ask a big question because the color scheme in here was pretty crazy, and we'll get into like maybe very big Suspiria vibes, but like bright greens, bright reds, some blues, some colder tones. I'll ask Bearclaw, what did you think on the color scheme? In my head when I was watching this, I'm like, do these colors like associate with certain things? Kind of like we did in Suspiria, where we were trying to think of like, does this have some correlation to the scenes, or like, red represents Mandy, or like, green is the Jesus cult.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's the Jesus.
I've heard that green was evil in the movie. I've seen a couple of theories on this. I don't know that any of them like perfectly line up, because color was used a lot in this movie and it made things look spectacular, and it was definitely like an accent, but I don't know if there's so much like symbolism in the color, not like with Miller's Crossing with whether they're wearing a hat and they're lying or not, or something like that. I don't know if there's that as much of a direct connection, but I think that the colors were used effectively and to promote like a psychedelic, and red was used a lot when red was, mercilessly killing people. But how the movie was shot was beautiful, and how they balanced the colors and made the colors. I mean, it really added to it. So I don't know that I saw that connection. It doesn't mean it's not there. I just didn't see it.
I felt like red represented danger in some way. Like it's red when the cult is driving in that van and they see Mandy, like things are going to go poorly because of this. But that's the only one I really got. I felt like I got a handle on, and even that, I guess I could be wrong.
The only color pattern I noticed is like with the Horn of Abraxas and with the Dagger of the Pale Knight, both of those were colored in green. Yeah. So like evil objects were kind of put off a green, otherworldly vibe. But I mean,
right.
I love the color, like the colors of the backgrounds they used, and like the synthwave kind of night or kind of 80s color theme that's used. And it's very Frank Frazetta, how they color things and the shots and the backgrounds, like very epic kind of feel to it. It's just I love it.
Jill, how about you? Did you think of anything with the color?
Pretty much what Nathan said, but I think also it could just signify like death because of the ending and when there's so much blood when he's killing and stuff.
What I found was really cool, and I'm a big fan of in this movie, because this is the movie to really do it is the title cards and kind of, you know, showing the different acts a little bit. Yeah. Everyone's not a big fan of that all the time, but I thought this was a perfect movie for it. And like the cool animations, right, with Mandy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on those? Because I loved it. I thought they added to the movie and made it like that much more unique.
So my theory on the animations is you see the animations progress, right, in a direction. As Red is getting his vengeance, Mandy becomes in those animations in a slightly better state. And they kind of represent like when Mandy was killed by the children of the New Dawn, she was kind of like in this spiritual prison, even in death. But then you see her as Red gets his vengeance, you see her get into slightly better positions, and she starts off as like a zombie, and then she's kind of floating in space. And that's why I think the final scene where she's like whole and she's back with Red in spirit is kind of beautiful, because Red, through his vengeance and his necessary violence, has freed her from the spiritual kind of prison that they locked her in.
I like that.
Their assault on her was more than just a physical one. It was a spiritual assault on her. Right. They were against what she was as a self-actualized person, because they were not that. They had to default to egotism or delusion, or in the case of the Black Skulls, depravity and addiction. And that's why, even though Mandy was all kinds of just completely out of her gourd on drugs, she's still able to kind of pull it together and just laugh at his delusion.
You made this song.
I did.
And it's about you.
It is.
And that's why he hates her so much, because she is the thing that he cannot face. He can never face that, because of his core just rottenness. And his name is so cool too, Jeremiah Sand. Like, it's just like such a hateable name, and kind of his Manson like character. Yeah. That's why they hate Mandy so much, because she has achieved what they never can, and they're stuck in their worlds of delusion and ego and addiction and depravity. That's the only way they can get through, and she's risen above her trauma, and that's why it's like, that's why they hate her so much. That's why she must be destroyed. That's why Red and her must be destroyed, because it's a reflection of what they can't be.
And he has a tiny wiener.
Yeah.
Evil manifested a tiny weenie.
Yeah. That is like how dangerous fragile men can be. Feels like a theme here.
The ultimate weapon against them will always be laughter.
He reminded me of Frank Booth, by the way, from Blue Velvet.
Yeah, he was very Frank Booth-esque.
Yeah,
you know, a lot of yelling and bravado, but underneath it all, he's a very insecure and unstable.
Yeah, very
person.
Insecure and fragile man. And he even yelled, "Don't fucking look at me!"
Don't you fucking look at me!
Yeah.
Just like Frank Booth does in the ritualistic scene in Blue Velvet. It was like a combination of like Charles Manson and Frank Booth. In my opinion.
Yeah. It's a good mixture.
And his bad music. Have you heard the Carpenters before? Oh.
You know what? That reminded me of American Psycho and the Huey Lewis in the news scene.
I was going to say Boogie Nights.
Have you heard Huey Lewis? Oh, yeah, Boogie Nights.
I thought he was going to put in like an awesome mix for...
I make these little mixtapes together. You know, I put all my favorite songs together. Hey, Cosmo, which one is this? Number 11, yeah.
He starts dancing around and
he was
the Chinese like... boy on the butt.
It's Cosmo. It's Chinese.
The only thing I will say though is his bathrobe was pretty awesome. Like
that's also kind of Boogie Nights when you think about it.
That's what made me think of it. He was like the creepy guy in the bathrobe. You know what? Actually, Bear Claw, I want to go off of what you said and ask Gill, do you think this is kind of a spiritual movie in that sense? Like Bear Claw is saying, you know, with the animations too, and showing like maybe her being, you know, delivered from her shackles, and them being maybe like her spirituality is everything, like Bear Claw said, that they're kind of afraid of. And because then they have to look in the mirror at themselves and like, whoop, that's not there.
Yeah, I definitely think Mandy especially is a very spiritual person. There are symbols of like some sort of paganism or witchcraft, like the pentacles, and just the way that she carries out her life is very spiritual and also like very fantasy based, which is something I liked about the movie. Like she's reading the fantasy novels. The Horn of Abraxas is a D&D item, and even the kind of like whatever weapon Nick Cage creates later. It's very fantastical.
You could imagine somebody in a fantasy movie beheading orcs with that axe for sure.
Yeah. I love that whole like kind of atmosphere. It's like 80s. You got like the kind of doom metal, stoner metal shit going on. You got the synths, you got all the colors. I like that this is like their little escape. You know, she gets to read her book at her job and, you know, this is their cozy little life. To be able to deal with all that trauma that she dealt with as a kid, I think, like Bear Claw mentioned, like she had to do a lot of work to overcome that. So I think the spirituality kind of comes through there as well. And, you know, they're very like hippie like, and she's doing all this art and stuff like that. So I think she's a spiritual person. And I think that also shows in the animations, like what Bear Claw said, kind of goes through this like metamorphosis of her beyond the grave or whatever is happening. And I think at the end, you kind of get the hint that it's not just that he avenged her, but it kind of gives you that notion that, okay, he's avenged her and now he's somehow gonna see her again or be with her again. Especially that last scene when he's staring at the camera when he's driving. I think that's an amazing scene, but you know, just the smile on his face, I think indicates that, you know, something more is going to happen. And yeah, I think they're both spiritual in their own ways.
And then he's driving in one of her pieces of art.
Yes.
Which, I don't know what that means, but it was cool.
It's hinted at that she has some prophetic powers. Because keep in mind, one of the first things she says to Jeremiah Sand is, I see the Reaper coming for you.
Yeah.
And that could either be in the crossbow or that could be in just death itself is coming now.
He calls the crossbow the Reaper.
The Reaper, yep.
When he goes to Bill Duke's house. Yeah.
And that's why I thought that like red is the symbol of death. And she knows that too. You're going to kill me. Like she's already foreseen this in her head. Like you're going to kill me. But you're going to be killed and, you know, I'm going to be released. And again, like seeing that Bear Claw, I didn't even think of that through the animation, seeing like that process take place. Nathan, what were your thoughts on those throughout?
I loved the animations. I thought they were just beautiful. I kind of just took them as what I was seeing. I didn't really think about what they really meant. I mean, I knew that there had to be some sort of metaphor going on there, but I don't know. I think I might need to see the movie a few more times before I have real fleshed out thoughts on what the animations could mean. What Bear Claw said there makes a lot of sense to me, though, that she is becoming more whole in each animation as it goes on. Because in the first one, like half her face is melted off and she's almost zombie-like. Yeah. And by the end, she is just this beautiful woman. At one point, doesn't she have like her foot on the head of a monster or something like that? I believe. I thought they complemented what we were watching. I mean, this movie was a wild ride already at that point. So once we got into animation, this sort of like, it looked like heavy metal, which is a movie I haven't actually seen, but I know what the art looks like. By then I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Let's just let's get real wild.
I thought it was, you know, it was beautiful too, because there were scenes like when the tiger escapes and they show the tiger like go into like an animated type of painting and stuff like that. So it was like blending both together, the planets too and stuff.
Loved it. Loved that. I love that art style. I love the synth that was playing while that was happening. Like that's when I'm like saying like this movie was like made. I feel like it was made for me. I was watching that and I was like, yes, this is it. This is what I wanted. How did I know?
Yeah, I agree. Like I thought that was like so cool to watch. It makes it such a unique movie. I want to get a little bit more on Jeremiah and the Children of the New Dawn. You know, we had kind of touched on them a little bit. And I want to ask Nathan this because something I thought in this watch was, I know like he's using God and stuff as, you know, speaking through him or whatever told me. I found a lot of symbolism in what he was saying to Mandy, especially. Mm-hmm. It wasn't God he was talking to. It felt like it was Satan that he might have been talking to. And I don't know if you picked up on any of those vibes, but like, I know there's hypocrisy. We're not going to get into like religious.
Well, I didn't think he was talking to anybody. God, Satan, he's using religion as a way to glorify himself and his own ego. So I don't think it has anything to do with who he's talking to, because he's not talking to anybody. He's a fragile piece of shit egomaniac. Very much like Frank Booth again. And he's using the text to glorify himself. He even says at one point,
you know what Jesus' big mistake was? Huh? He didn't offer up a sacrifice instead. The cruciform is a constant reminder of that.
And the cruciform is a daily reminder of that. And he was basically saying he is actually above Jesus.
He's above Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all the voices that talk to him don't say anything about God or anything. They say, you are right.
He said, Jeremiah, they were wrong. And you are right.
Referring to himself, Jeremiah. So he's a cult leader. And just like every cult, it's about, I get to fuck the chicks because I'm the cult leader.
So many women.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's how I felt about it. I mean, as far as Jeremiah's spirituality, that's all I felt like. It was just a facade.
Yeah.
So hear me out. This might be my own fanfic here. Here's kind of how I contextualize like the framework of the film. And it has to do with the religious theme. So that's why I think this is a good spot for it. The Children of the New Dawn and the Black Skulls kind of represent like heaven and hell. If you think about it, heaven and hell kind of work together. You go to heaven because you're afraid of going to hell. And they kind of represent that whole like religious, like the duality of the religion, sure, but like that kind of religion on earth kind of thing, right? But Mandy and Red, they represent the other. They represent the pagan, the natural fury, the storm on Jupiter that would eat the entire world, right? Mm-hmm. They represent that other that's out there. There's a big themes of astronomy and you know, a supernatural and things that are outside of that religion, right? And Mandy's like a mystic. They're like in the forest and kind of to themselves. But the Children of the New Dawn see that much as, you know, religion would see some other competing entity, or maybe not even competing entity, something that doesn't align with their worldview. And they say, well, we got to possess and control it. And that's what he sees in Mandy, is he sees that like primordial kind of like thing that doesn't fit his narrative, and he needs to control it and possess it entirely. Because if he can do that, then his way is still right? He can still, you know, house all of Jeremiah's sands, and even the structure of heaven and hell between them and the Black Skulls can be maintained. But she's outside of that structure, and so is Red, and that's why they're dangerous. So they have to be controlled. So that's why when she kind of laughs at his penis and everything like that, and laughs at his attempts to control and make submission the primordial, and like just the inadequacy and the impotence of that, trying to control nature and the fury of nature through some type of religious understanding of it. That's why she just laughs, because he's so, you know, as being the representative of heaven and that kind of systematic thinking, nature doesn't abide by that, and it laughs at their impotent attempts to control that. But
he's a peon compared to her, right?
Or not even compared to her, just compared to, it's like an ant declaring he's king of the world, you know?
Yeah, okay.
She understands that the world is a bigger place, but he doesn't, and he's trying to contextualize it and control it in that schema of religion, right? They have to kill her at that point, because it's fanatics. When they're faced with something that they can't control like that, or doesn't fit their narrative. They can't wrap their heads around that, so she needs to die. That becomes very clear when she laughs at him and again, the ant declaring himself emperor of the universe kind of thing. This is the transgression. These two groups, this heaven and hell, they have transgressed against the primordial gods. They have transgressed against nature. And that's where Red comes in. He is the vengeance of the old gods. They have gone too far this time, and now the old gods, the cosmic darkness that is Red, is now going after these two groups with the absolute vengeance and fury of the natural and primordial and the friggin' beast. That's one of the ways that I kind of put the framework around this. We were just talking about religion, and I had to stick that in somewhere, but that's kind of the framework I think about it.
Yeah, he kind of transforms too. Like he's like taking their super LSD drugs and that, and he's like gearing up to, and he sort of becomes like sort of the same monster that these, whatever they are, the monsters are, like the Cenobite kind of people.
The Black Skulls.
The Black Skulls, yes.
I was going to say, they remind me very much
They are
like
very
the Cenobites, right?
Yeah, that is a good observation.
Summon from hell or something like that.
I feel like a Cenobite would definitely have a knife dick. That sounds very Cenobite.
Absolutely. Actually, yeah, you connect everything.
I want to talk real quick on the Black Skulls, because here's my question, right? Are they like true like Cenobite-like, right? Or are we seeing them through the eyes of people who are on LSD and are imagining them to be these monsters? Or are they actually monsters?
I just sort of believe Bill Duke's explanation.
There's stories that there was a chapter that ran courier for a manufacturer of LSD. He took a disliking to them and cooked them up a special batch. And they have never been right in the head since.
That they're just bikers who got a hold of some really, really bad acid and went off the deep end. Like, I don't think that guy actually has a knife dick. I think he put on a suit and put a knife where his dick is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
like the costume is a costume. I don't think they've been actually transformed, you know. Also, they're very, very Road Warrior. And nobody thinks that the Road Warrior people are supernatural. You know what I'm saying? I think they've just put on suits because they're really fucked up on some really bad drugs.
That's what the guy says is the chemist, they wronged the chemist and the chemist gave them a bad batch.
Exactly.
And they just lost their shit.
What do you guys think they were drinking? Like, what was... What was that LSD they were drinking? They said it was blood.
Yeah, no, I think it was just drugs.
Yeah, it was drugs, some super drugs.
I mean, Nicolas Cage takes a little dollop and it's like, and all of a sudden he's in Twin Peaks season 3, episode 8.
He's like, woof. Yeah, because that's what I was wondering, because it's like, it seems like another way to, like, obviously to control people. The Children of the New Dawn are doing. They're taking these people and they're drugging them and trying to control them with, especially with visions that they're not really having, or they are having, but is not real. That reminds me, what did she get bit with, or that stung with?
I like to call that the cherry on top.
Does anybody know what that was?
Psychedelic wasp, I imagine. That's the only thing, because they call it the cherry on top. So
yeah, but they had already dropped LSD into her eyeball at that point. So do you really need the psychedelic wasp to?
Was it like a tranquilizer sort of deal? I don't know.
She was able to rise above it, though. That's what I think is like the coolest part of the film is like she's like, oh, this is some rookie shit. Like,
she's like, this is just another Tuesday.
What, you think I haven't done drugs before? Look at me.
Speaking of fucked up, one of my favorite scenes is Nick Cage in the bathroom. In his underwear, all bloodied and shit. I mean, he just watched Mandy get burned alive. Here he is finding, like Nathan said, his bottle in the bathroom in the sink, takes a swig, he puts some on his hand. I mean, that must have stung. He doesn't even react to it. He's just so numb to everything. His like screaming and like yelling and then sitting down and screaming and yelling. And I love kind of I hate to use the term again, juxtaposition of the bathroom colors, because they're bright and obnoxious and like everything else is so beautifully shot in this. I felt like that was a choice, right? To do that.
It was definitely a choice.
You're not supposed to feel good during that scene. You're supposed to. You're just torn. I mean, you can't even imagine the depths of like. You just watch your girlfriend or wife get burned alive. Like, not only his wife. I mean, I think she went deeper than that. She was like his soulmate, you know, and just watching her just get burned, like I can't even imagine. But I mean, Nicolas Cage does just an extraordinary job. I mean, I would argue that's maybe one of his best scenes of like
his career.
Yeah.
Do you think the director just put him in that set and said, "Please be Nicolas Cage"?
Yes.
Turn it up to 11, Nick.
Yeah, you're free to do what you want to do.
I don't know about you, but I actually like yelled with him a little bit on my last watch. Like that felt cathartic for me because like Jill, like you were saying, this is very emotional. Like it is for sure. Like they set you up for that beginning part to feel this along with Red, right? In this bathroom scene.
Yeah, I was actually in disbelief when it happened. I was like, okay, there's no way that they would actually do this to Mandy. The title of the movie is Mandy. And like, we haven't really seen a lot of her yet, you know? So I thought it was just kind of like a hoax and they would have burned someone else alive. So I was like, okay, it'll get better. And it did not get better. And I was like, oh, I guess she really died.
Spoiler, it did not get better.
It did not get, but spiritually she was freed. So like there's like, and I'm glad it didn't get better. I'm so tired of movies like time traveling and everybody's alive and happy and well. The story loses all impact then.
I need it's too depressing for me right now.
I'm sorry. The scene where it happens, they just stretch that out for so long. They make sure you feel it, like really feel it, because it is hard to watch. The inside the bag squirming as the flames overtake. It's just like, you feel it in your gut. Nicolas Cage is at his most Nicolas Cage in that bathroom, but it's like it feels reasonable. It's just so appropriate, and only Nicolas Cage could have done that scene in that way.
It's like right before that you were talking about what's the Cheddar Goblin? Is that the
Cheddar Goblin? Yes,
Cheddar Goblin.
Cheddar Goblin! Did you eat all the macaroni and cheese?
Nothing's better than cheddar.
Cheddar Goblin.
So inappropriately timed,
but like you just the camera's on Nicolas Cage and he's just like
Cheddar Goblin,
like you know, and you could feel that just numbness. Like even this fucking Cheddar Goblin commercial is trying to pull you out of that, but you can't. You know
that commercial. They made the whole thing, and you can watch it on YouTube. By the way, it's
really,
like a minute. Yeah, it's like a couple minutes long.
I gotta watch it.
You know who it was made by, right? And I'm
the same. Too Many Cooks. Yeah.
Too many cooks. Too many cooks. Too many cooks. Too many cooks.
Too Many Cooks. I'm a huge Adult Swim fan, and like I could see like Too Many Cooks. I love like Too Many Cooks and things like that. Yeah. Even with the Cheddar Goblins, you watch it and you're like, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Like it's uncomfortable and you don't know why. Like something isn't right with that. Even if you just watch the Cheddar Goblins commercial, but even in the context of the movie, it makes even more sense of like something's not right.
Well, it's also sort of like the overall universe doesn't care about your pain necessarily. Like that commercial just comes on, even though like the TV schedule doesn't know what happened to you or care.
Life goes on.
Exactly.
And life goes on big time here because Nicolas Cage is going on his revenge tour.
He's forging the beast.
He forges the beast.
And doing cocaine.
And does cocaine. Like Gill said, it was like out of some, Dungeon of Doom. Christ. I'm thinking Mouths of Madness. Dungeons and Dragons type of idea. This weapon, it's just made perfectly for like killing everybody sort of deal. My thing is, I'm all with him, right? He got the Reaper, he got the crossbow. We're ready to go. He's going to take out the Black Skulls. Boom. Then he's like driving over. And then all of a sudden I'm like, no, he got caught. Like this revenge tour is ending
immediately. Yeah.
Like really quickly. Like, this is one I signed up for.
He gets his hand nailed to the floor, and he's chained up there, and, like, you're like, oh, I thought he was just gonna holy terror this whole time, but he isn't, and that's so much fun, and it's so much fun when he's, like, fun, I guess, but he's, like, nailed down to the floor, and she's like, what do you have, a death wish or something? And he's like, I don't want to talk about that.
I don't want to talk about that.
That line's great. I don't want to talk about that.
He has these moments where he's just like, he resonates what a real person might say in that situation. And it's out of place and it doesn't feel right, but it's so right too. Like,
it's also really like campy.
Yeah.
Like after the bathroom scene is over, we go into straight horror revenge movie camp.
Yes.
It's like goofy the rest of the way.
It's my favorite shirt.
That was my favorite shirt.
Jill, I'm so happy you brought that up. The first time out of all my watches, I picked this up, though, right? Because they do a flashback to why that's his favorite shirt. Am I correct in here? Because he was wearing it when he met Mandy.
Oh, I didn't pick up on that.
I didn't pick it up on it either.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like, so it did matter to him that it was his favorite shirt.
Yeah, that's not just a throwaway line. That's awesome.
Yeah.
God,
so sad.
I love this.
Oh my goodness.
Really sad too.
Like you said, this is campiness galore, balls to the wall. There's mounds of cocaine with these knife penis type of black skull guys watching porn. Here's my question with the guy who's hanging out by the car and he gets shot by the arrow. He feels it, right? Or he's just so fucked up on drugs that like...
That's the guy who downed like half a thing of LSD. He's probably so on the other side of the universe that you can pull an arrow out of your neck no problem then.
Right.
Being on enough cocktail of whatever runs through his bloodstream. Like.
And actually Nick Cage's friend there said he saw them in pain, but they like it.
Oh yeah, they loved it.
They fucking loved it.
Well, you know
Cenobites.
Cenobites.
Yep.
They
well,
are.
You know what line he says that lends to my spiritual assessment of Mandy in the her being tortured is she still burns. Is his last line before he chops his head off. Is she still burns? Because he's like referring to her like he knows she's dead, but like her spiritual, she's still burning.
I love too that as soon as Nick Cage has what I think is LSD, right? His voice that we hear turns into almost like a demon type of voice, right?
Yeah.
He's like changing. Like I thought it was like him becoming a monster. Like he takes the LSD, but like also he's like totally changed. He's, becoming a monster like them because they wronged him so badly,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like he was transforming into them. And because in a way he had to, like you have to fight these kind of monsters.
Yeah.
Become them.
I don't know that I see him like becoming like them because it's not like he's going after innocents. And, you could argue that the one girl in the cult that he saw as an innocent, he didn't slaughter wholesale.
That's true.
So I don't know that he became like them, but that's like his moment of like he is the spirit of vengeance at that moment. He is the Jovan warrior sent forth from the eye of the storm. That's the chemist scene.
I don't know that this movie is really doing a critique on vengeance, like Old Boy or something like that. It's like very much pro vengeance, I think.
Yeah, he just is like his one goal is their destruction, and you know, I think he kind of sees as spiritually freeing Mandy through their destruction and his almost like necessary violence, you know, like
that's what I was thinking, necessary violence.
They wronged you.
Oh man, they wronged you. Why they gotta be like that?
You know, and that's why the chemist sends them. Because I don't think if the chemist thought that he was like the Black Skulls, I don't think he would have sent him to the Children of the New Dawn.
That's such a good scene.
I love the chemist scene.
Yeah. Nicolas Cage doesn't say a fucking word the whole time. The chemist is just like responding to him even though he hasn't said anything.
Oh, you're so right.
God, you're right.
You're so right. I thought at first, I'm like, he's going to release that tiger, like, to go attack him. Like, you're so right. Like, I should release this tiger to attack you. Like, but it was just, no, it was, and I love the way it was shot too. Cause it's like those fluorescent fucking lights just, like after like we've been in darkness for a long time. It was kind of like a wake up call sort of scene.
And one of the funniest things is LSD is absorbed through the skin. So he had his fingertips all in just blotter paper.
I didn't even think about that.
Was rocking on the shores of oblivion, man. No gloves on. He was just like that's why him and Nick could have a whole conversation with Nick not saying a word.
That is not how you make blotters at all. You don't soak the whole damn paper in a pool of LSD. You use an eyedropper.
Not if you want to do it the fun way, Nathan.
This actor who plays the chemist is pretty well known in horror. He's done a bunch of Rob Zombie movies, including he did Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's one. He was the paramedic passenger, not the driver.
What do you think of the chemist scene?
I liked it because I had my favorite line in there, so I liked what was going on there. You exude a cosmic darkness.
Oh, yeah. Jovian warrior sent forth from the eye of the storm exudes a cosmic darkness. How cool is that? I want that on my grave.
We'll put it on there, Bear Claw. So actually, that kind of goes to what Bear Claw had said too, like Jill, what you're saying. The chemist knows kind of who he is, so he's giving out about the family, so he can go get his revenge on them. But let's get to the ending, because I think that, you know, we finally have the payoff, right? One of my least favorite characters is Brother Swan here. He's like a gross minion. Yeah. I kind of picked up on like, you know, I know he loves Jeremiah, but like I was feeling like he like loves Jeremiah, you know, like he's in love with him.
Sentences to Lucy.
Did you get that joke?
Erotic.
Yeah.
I didn't when watching it. I might have to rewatch it and test your little theory, but I just kind of saw it as like a cultish kind of love. Like they have this, you know, when they're really into it, they see no wrong and you know, the cult leader and they'll do anything for them. So I think I saw it more as that type of relationship. And I feel like most of the cult was like that towards him, except that one girl who played the Russian roulette.
Now show him how much you love me.
You could tell that she was not totally into it. And that
Right.
scene was also gut-wrenching.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
I forgot about that scene. I don't know why, because it's horrific to watch, but
Blocked it out of your head.
yeah.
Trauma.
They make him such an effective, just piece of shit villain. Like,
Yeah.
and in the end, when his head, that's like the perfect way, is just like, get him.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Cosmic justice, right?
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So first, I love Brother Swan getting the what he got Nicolas Cage's like sword thing through his mouth. Is that what he did?
Yeah.
The beat.
Yeah, it was the handle end of the axe had a spike on it, and that went through his mouth.
Gotcha.
Mid-sentence too. What was he saying? I've got it in my notes.
He was saying something about Mandy, right?
Something not nice about Mandy, as I recall.
I know.
Enough
yeah. But he was saying she burned bright, didn't she?
The darker the horror, the brighter the flame. She burned brightly, Mandy.
Which there's a reference to when he earlier in the movie he said the darkest horrors always burn brightest. But then he starts to quote Neil Young. He says, better to burn out than fade.
Better to burn out than fade.
Yeah, shut that man up. No one wants to hear his stupid ass.
Yeah. Red was just like, you're not going to finish that quote. You don't get to put Neil Young's words in your mouth because you're a piece of shit.
I do agree with Kevin, though. I think he had a cultist following, but there was a deep love for Jeremiah in there that may have been a little bit more.
What does he see in him?
What do any of them see in him? I mean,
not his wiener. That's for damn sure.
You could see that Swan was generally disappointed when he shooed him away and said to bring the other girl in. It seemed like Swan thought he was gonna be the one
our
he
special
chose.
time right now.
You're right, right.
I don't know. I didn't. It didn't perk up my gaydar, but I guess I could be wrong.
I have to rewatch it.
What about them willing to sacrifice the chubby one?
Why don't we offer up the porker to them? Just to seal the deal.
Oh my God. That shot where the one that they call him the chubby one, he's bathed in blue and and he's going, oh, it's straight out of Lost Highway or Twin Peaks season 3. It's very, very Lynch, or Mulholland Drive too, actually. I guess all of his movies have something like that.
Yeah, I was thinking that whole scene, very Lynchian. Also, like we talked about too, Cenobites, Hellraiser, them coming, it was very just taking over and dreamlike in that sense. So
yeah,
that was a good comparison, Joel. I didn't think about that because they are the Black Skulls are like Cenobites, they just love the pain, the biker gear,
Also, so in D&D, the Horn of Abraxas, it's supposed to summon a creature from hell, I think. So it's maybe that could add to it. I don't know. I didn't think too much of that, but
if those bikers are from anywhere, hell makes sense,
I thought it was weird that it was an ocarina instead of I was thinking I was expecting it
Zelda
Navi to show up.
Yeah.
Dragon Zord. Oh
that'd be a total shift.
Yeah, totally. That'd be
what's going on here? And then we get the ultimate payoff, right? We finally get Red and Jeremiah. Well,
let's not rush things. We're glossing over a whole chainsaw fight.
Oh,
yeah, I forgot about the chainsaw. Holy shit.
We forgot about the chainsaw fight straight out of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Yeah.
This is obviously a dick swinging contest, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's definitely.
Because he's got the little chainsaw, and then he's like, hang on a second. Let me pull out my big one here. Although, you could say it's all about how you use it. Because the big one was not very good.
Not as effective. And let me tell you, just having used chainsaws growing up in a rural place, I can't imagine a worse weapon to fight with. That thing would seize up instantly. No sparks would come out. They would just both stop working really quickly. They're not very. it would not be very climactic, but using it in this way, it was still absolutely metal. It was awesome, and just watching it and seeing the guy catch the beast in the head right beforehand, and then it's oh, there's this big other guy. It's like a video game almost, where he's going through the final bosses to get to to get to it. And it was so cool though. Well, reality, it really wouldn't work out like that. The cool points are just all there.
I wanted to see that other guy who was like totally being disgusting while Mandy was burning, like licking his lips and shit like that. Like I wanted to see him get fucking like tortured a little bit.
Is that the one who just caught the axe to the head?
I believe so.
Yeah. He was whacking his car and he just...
Yeah. He deserved a little bit more. So then we get like Marlene, who tries to like offer her services, right?
Jeremiah says I'm the most sensual lover he's ever experienced.
Their big thing against whoring or whatever, like the biggest whores burn the brightest or whatever. Obviously,
Jeremiah himself
hypocritical.
offers him a BJ.
I'll blow you, man. I'll suck your fucking dick.
Yes!
As like, it's like, I'll suck your dick. Isn't that what you want? What'd you say, Jill? I'm sorry.
Let me blow you.
Yeah, and it's like he's definitely willing to, give up his mouth for his life.
Yeah, it's like such hypocritical stuff, right?
Exactly.
Well, it's like in the face of reality, their beliefs don't, like, if they really were true believers, they'd be like, my soul will be immortal forever, and I don't give a crap, and he wouldn't die on his knees. He's a fanatic. Fanatics don't really believe. Because if fanatics really believed, then they would act very differently. They wouldn't have to enforce it upon others.
Yeah, they would do an Obi-Wan Kenobi. I will become more powerful because of this.
Exactly.
I love how Red gives him head, which is Marlene's head.
Oh, yeah.
Bowling with heads.
At first, I didn't know what it was.
It takes you a second to like, oh, wait, that is a head with gray. Okay, that is Marlene's head.
Like you said, I found the ending of Jeremiah speaking to Red kind of like how he was speaking to himself earlier in the mirror, right? Because he's almost seeing himself here. He doesn't believe in the shit he's spewing, really, at the end of the day. So it's kind of your own personal like coming to Jesus moment and realizing
faced with
like
a primordial force that he cannot control, he cannot bargain, he cannot reason with. It's like trying to reason with a tornado at that point. It's not going to be meaningful, and Red looks down and goes, I am your God now. And
I'm your God now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that felt so good. I hated Jeremiah Sands so much, and it was like, yes, get him.
That felt a little orgasmic at the end.
I felt like Mandy. I was like freed from spiritual torturing. I was like, yes.
Jill, what'd you think of the ending? Were you satisfied a little bit with it? I know it wasn't the ending that you wanted necessarily.
Yeah, but I think that ending shot, like I was talking about, that kind of makes up for it because it's so iconic, with him driving and the red all over the shot looks really good. And yeah, I thought it was a good ending, especially visually, but I was like, damn, this lady did all this work to heal her trauma. She has, a little slice of a nice life going on, and these damn cultists come in and ruin it for everybody. And the consequences are like final and they're stark, and it's just, oh God, it's so sad. But apart from that, the final scene is,
I feel like that's kind of always how it is in life, isn't it? Like you've got everything all set, and then some assholes just coming out of the blue and fuck it up. It's like I feel like whenever you reach that moment of like, hey, everything's pretty good right now, there's always something.
Always some Jeremiah out there.
There's always some Jeremiah out there who wants to piss in your Cheerios,
Nathan, how about you? Did this satisfy you like it did for Bear Claw?
I mean, I was happy to see Jeremiah die, but I don't know. I didn't get the whole Mandy is spiritually free now thing from it. I felt like he was tripping on acid and he saw Mandy in the car and he was going to come down. I did think the ending was pretty bleak because Mandy is, revenge or not, Mandy's dead. They're not in the same world.
Yeah, everything sucks.
Yeah. But I was satisfied seeing Jeremiah's death, that's for sure. That it was a good way for him to go too, on his knees, pathetically crying and begging and trying to bargain and being told, "I am your God now."
I was thinking like he probably should have died at the end, like I thought that would
like in The Crow.
Right.
Yeah.
He goes back to the grave. Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted, but that would have been too like happy, I guess, for this movie.
Right, to go hang out with Mandy in the afterlife, you mean? Yeah.
And sees the crow and everything.
Yeah, the crow shows up and
So
that would have ruined the movie.
I want to get your thoughts real quick before we end here, because one of the things I had read was somebody had this theory that Nick Cage was dead. He was stabbed with that knife thing with the green glowing stuff. They were saying that it transferred some sort of evil spirit to him that like manifested itself as this revenge guy. What are your thoughts on that? Because, I mean, do you think he was alive, or do you think this was like him just being dead and doing this as a, evil spirit sort of deal?
I think he was alive, and everyone was on LSD.
Yeah.
So a lot of weird shit was happening, but I think it all pretty much happened.
With you on that one, Jill.
I've seen a couple of theories. There's the Red is dead. I've also seen that this is either a dream he's having and he's actually going to wake up and be right next to Mandy. I've also seen that this is a book that Mandy is writing. You know how she really likes the novels and stuff, and this is like a book that she's writing, and that's why all these D&D elements are kind of coming into it, is because she's writing this book and this is the story, and Red is the hero of the story, of course, because that's how she would write it, because she sees him as her hero. I find those, I think they're good, and hey, if that's how you want to watch the movie, I think it's awesome. I am in for a more literal interpretation of it, but that's what I love about this movie. Imagine what you want. How did him and the chemist talk? They were telepathically connected. There's lots of room for this movie to make up your own narrative. I made up a whole big narrative myself. That's what I love about it, is you can personalize your experience with it in a lot of ways. I think there's room for a happy ending where this is all just a book that Mandy's writing.
Yeah. I like that too. We're on to Quote or Kill. We're going to give you our favorite quote of the movie, or our favorite kill of the movie, or both. My favorite quote is actually when Nicolas Cage visits his friend Carruthers, and Carruthers says, "So what you hunting?" And Red says,
"Jesus freaks.
I didn't know they were in season, man."
My favorite kill is when Red kills the Black Skull, who's watching porn and snorting coke, and he stabs him in the jugular, and it's just like
blood sprays all over Red's face. Yeah,
he's laughing.
Yeah,
like, holy shit, man! You turned on the hose, and I love it. Like, it reminds me of a good old splatter movie from the 80s. Like, more blood. More blood. How about you, Bear Claw?
So my favorite quote and kill comes at the end of the movie with Jeremiah Sands, because again, I felt the catharsis. I felt Mandy's spirit being freed from its prison, and that was my personal interpretation. And my quote is, right before he kills him, he says, and this is a Joseph Campbell quote,
"The psychotic drowns where the mystic swims. You're drowning. I'm swimming."
You're drowning and I'm swimming.
Yeah, that was powerful.
Yeah.
Nathan, how about you?
So you already said my favorite line.
How could you?
I didn't know they were in season, man.
Jill's scolding me.
Yeah. My favorite kill, as bleak as this is, it's Mandy, because of how emotional and awful it made me feel. It was the most powerful thing that happened in the movie, and it just goes on for so long, and it's just, I don't know, it made me feel really bad, and it affected me I know it affected me the most, though, is the thing. It was so that's sort of where I'm at with that. How about you, Jill?
Yeah, I kind of talked about my favorite quote already, the cosmic darkness within Red. And to kind of go along with that, I have the same one as Bear Claw, Jeremiah, because I just love to see that motherfucker die in such a brutal way. And it is a bit cathartic, and there's a release for sure. And he gets what he finally came here for. And fuck Jeremiah.
Well, that gets us to our letterbox rating. We're going to rate this movie from 1 to 5 stars. 5 is Nick Cage being a total badass. 1 is Jeremiah being a total little bitch. For me, I'm going to actually have Bear Claw start this because he's the guest.
1 star, terrible movie.
Vile.
No, final. Yeah, no. I mean, I think this is very clear. I mean, this movie was made for me personally, so I think I feel obligated to give it a 5-star rating. I mean, this is a must-see movie. I understand it's not going to be for everybody, but if you tune into the vibes of it, I think it's got a lot. Got a lot there for you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 5 stars. Jill, how about you?
I am going to give Mandy a 4 stars. It was a bit of a rough watch for me sometimes, but I really love the style, the cozy life of Mandy and Red. The music was a vibe, and the tone was really heavy and effective. It was an upsetting watch, but I found it to be tragic, like I said, without much catharsis at the end. And yes, Red does avenge Mandy, and it's a horror movie, but it is still bleaker than I expected it to be. I think that's the big thing for me is like I expected something else, and then I just was not ready for that. I like the fantasy and like the 80s-ness to it, the kind of metal vibe, but I also wanted more Mandy. But yeah, it's a 4 stars for me. What about you, Nathan?
I'm putting this at 4.5 stars. I really, really love this movie. This is, I fuck it. Actually, you know what? It's 5 stars.
Damn!
This is a damn masterpiece. I've changed my mind. I have to go on to Letterboxd and change my rating. This is a masterpiece. All the psychedelia of it and how deep you can dive into the symbolism and everything like that. It's just a beautifully made movie that you can enjoy on a surface level, or you can dig deeper and enjoy it more. It is really bleak. You know, I've been tired of bleak lately, but in this case, it just doesn't change how amazing it is to me. Kevin.
Yeah, so I was really between like 4.5 and 5 stars. My really only big critique of this movie is the length. When you get past 2 hours for me, it starts feeling it in most things, you know. But I mean, if that's my only critique, you know, fuck it. I'm diving in the LSD with Nathan and Bear Claw. Give me 5 stars.
There you go.
I think I think actually when I first watched this, I was probably at like a 3 star, and I probably went up to a 4 star my second watch, and now I'm at a 5. Like, it just kept getting better for me, and that's what I really love about this movie. And like we've all talked about with different things we've seen and different ways you can take this movie and interpretations, I really love that. I love that idea that it keeps you thinking throughout, you know, even when you're not watching it. So, and again, some of those scenes are ingrained in my mind forever, and that's when you know it's like a 5-star movie for good ways too. Like, you know, sometimes scenes get in your mind for bad ways.
Right.
But, you know, this, you know, just Nick Cage smiling with all the blood on his face. I mean, fuck, that's so visceral and it's awesome. You know, and I really wish Nick Cage was celebrated more because I think he deserves it. And Mandy is a great movie for him to be celebrated. Before we end the episode, we want to let you all know what we've been up to. I have one thing that I just watched recently, and it was VHS Halloween that's currently streaming on Shudder. The VHS movies, I've watched a couple of them. I'm not a huge fan, especially found footage and things like that. But like most of them, they are like anthology based. There's usually like some good stories, some bad stories. It's kind of like this too. I really recommend VHS Halloween, especially for spooky season. Like, I think it is cool. Like, it has some great Halloween stories. You know, some reminded me of like a really dark, fucked up Goosebumps. So
was it the first one? Is kind of like Barbarian. Is it the first one? I watched it, but I was not really paying much attention.
The first one's definitely like Barbarian. It has one that's like turning people into candy.
Yes, that one's crazy.
Yeah, it's so good. That one's my favorite because it's like, this is what this should be. Like, just have fun with it and go crazy all out, you know? And then the last one, too, is like, that's where I got a lot of the big, like, adult Goosebump vibes. Like, wonder if your haunted house became, like, actual haunted house people and stuff like that. And it was very cool. I thought it was well done. There is a couple stories that I didn't like one was like children-esque, and I don't like that, like, you know, abducting kids and stuff.
How does it rank on your VHS like leaderboard?
So I think I've only seen 3 of them, and I don't remember.
That's okay. I mean, there's so many stories.
Did you guys watch the space one?
The sci-fi one, right?
I love the sci-fi one.
That one was really good too.
With the watch. Oh, that's one of my favorites, with the police officers in the house. Oh, that's so cool.
Oh yeah, that one was cool.
Yeah, I thought this was really good. I mean, it's probably one of my favorites. I feel like it will have some staying power, whereas like the other ones just kind of are all in there.
I'm currently reading We Love You, Bunny by Mona Awad. There you go. I think I talked about when I read the first Bunny book on the podcast, possibly.
That was a long time ago, I think.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite books ever. And this is a sequel to that. It's kind of like Heathers meets Mean Girls meets Frankenstein. It's dark academia with a focus on the craft of writing. And it follows the aftermath of the first book with perspectives from the other characters. Because the first book, the main character, the protagonist, has schizophrenia. So she's an unreliable narrator, so you're hearing all the other perspectives, which is cool. I'll probably talk about it next week when I finish it. I did my annual rewatch of Trick or Treat. Did we watch that last year for the podcast?
We did, yeah.
It's a perfect movie, and it's a perfect spooky season movie, and I adore everything about it, and I'll probably watch it again this month.
I gotta watch it myself. I make it a part of my Halloween watching every year.
It's just perfect. I love everything about it. For It's Late's podcast, we just did an episode on Peter Jackson's Dead Alive, aka Brain Dead.
It's been on my list for a while.
Oh my God, dude.
I've heard it's really good.
You know how in Mandy, Elijah Wood being a producer or whatever in that movie is like kind of interesting, right? And he was in Lord of the Rings. Peter Jackson in horror is also just like so unexpected. It's such like a splatter movie.
Didn't he do nothing but splatter movies prior to Lord of the Rings?
He did, but then he did Lord of the Rings, and I'm like, this is the same guy? Like, holy shit.
Same dude?
Yeah.
But I love Dead Alive. It kind of reminds me of Evil Dead with the sense of comedy in it, and it's just over the top gore. If you're interested in more of my thoughts about that, you can go listen to the episode. And Kevin, you're a liar because you also watched Night of the Reaper, and we did an episode on It's Late's podcast, Now Slaying on it.
Yeah, I listened to the spoiler-free portion of that, actually.
Okay, good. And then you turned that off.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen it, so I can't listen to the rest.
Yeah,
I actually brought it up on the Miles of Madness podcast on our latest episode. So that's why I didn't mention it here.
You forgot about it.
Purposely. But no. Like, Night of the Reaper, like, I really loved it, and I highly recommend it.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, it was good. I think it's like gaining a lot of steam on Shudder, and I see a lot of people talking about it on Reddit, and so I'm happy to see that. And if you want to hear more of mine and Kevin's thoughts on it, you can go listen to the It's Lays podcast. Nathan, what have you been up to?
Because of the Red Sox postseason, I only have 2 movies that I've really watched. I've got a 4.5 and an 0.5. Which one do you want first?
4.5.
Yeah. Okay. So I watched a movie called The Devils. This is a Ken Russell movie. It came out in 1971. It's the first movie I've watched by Ken Russell, and it takes place in France a little bit after the end of the Spanish Inquisition. I don't know. It's categorized as horror, but I would say it's really more of a historical drama. It was banned in a lot of places. It's pretty crazy and out there. Basically, this priest is like the leader of this town within France, but France is trying to federalize all the little towns that are sort of operating independently. And so they try to frame the priest for being a demon. Because, the Catholic Church has taken over France's federal government and they're trying to gain more power. And this nun accuses him of possessing her. And then the whole, what are nuns in?
Convent.
The whole convent starts accusing him of possessing, of possessing them. And it gets crazy and out there. The nuns think they're possessed and they get naked and they go feral, basically.
Is that based on the Aldous Huxley books, The Devil of Laudanum?
That it is, yeah.
I knew it sounded so. Aldous Huxley is one of my favorite all-time writers, and I was like, that sounds so familiar.
Yeah, no, it is. It's based on that book, and because it was, considered blasphemous, and it's a really, really intense and crazy movie. It's just like constant chaos once you get to the point where the nuns become possessed, and it's great. Like I said, it's my first Ken Russell movie. I'm going to be seeking out more Ken Russell movies. I know he did Altered States and a few others.
Okay.
I highly recommend it. Unfortunately, you can only find it on the Criterion channel. It's not streaming anywhere else. And in fact, physically, you can only get it on DVD. WB is like holding it hostage because it was it was so controversial in its day. And I guess WB still thinks it's extremely controversial. I don't know. I don't think it's ban worthy. I mean, there's plenty of movies on my Blu-ray shelf that that are more controversial than this one, but I don't know, mainstream movie companies,
Dogma's only starting to come back.
What?
Dogma by Kevin Smith is only starting to be republished now.
Yeah. No, WB was holding that hostage too for a long time. So, and that one's barely controversial unless I
never understood that.
Unless you're an extremist, that one's not. But anyway. And then the second thing I watched that I gave 0.5 stars to, and my review for it was actually vomit inducing, was Back to Black, the Amy Winehouse biopic.
Oh, no, you poor thing.
Yeah. So I'm a huge Amy Winehouse fan. In fact, that's Amy Winehouse back there. Her head always ends up out of frame, but those are her boobies. Yeah, no, this biopic is extremely disrespectful and just I'm not okay with it. It sort of whitewashes both her father and her husband's role in her life. If you watch the documentary, which is simply titled Amy, they're very much villains in her story. If you know about the concert that she put on shortly before she died, where it went terribly and she was way too drunk to perform, she throws her shoe at the guitar player and it was all on camera. The reason she was on stage is because her management and her father pressured her into doing it, even though she was obviously not well and needed to go to rehab. She was treated like an ATM by both her manager and her father. But instead, this movie portrays her father as just this put upon man with this awful alcoholic daughter. Her husband at one point in the movie gets arrested for assault. And if you only knew about her husband, what you saw in this movie, you'd be like, how did that happen? It's so out of character. Why would this charming man commit an assault, even though the reality is he had a long history of violence and substance abuse. So it sort of whitewashed everything except for her. She is portrayed as this, violent, sort of unhinged addict, which to some extent she was. I'm not saying, she has no responsibility in her story. I'm just saying, like, you can't whitewash everybody else in her story and have that be okay. I found it horrifically disrespectful, and 0.5 stars. Don't anyone ever watch it. How about you, Bear Claw?
I mentioned this on Mouths of Madness, but it's such a fun story. I want to mention it here. I'm reading The Metamorphosis of Prime Intellect. If you ever want to know what AI will do with serial killers, it's a good read. It's very interesting. It kind of has to do with this AI, and it's kind of a sci-fi scenario of the singularity, but it goes in a lot of different directions, and how kind of utopia can be hell at the same time. It's really interesting work. I'm not all the way through it, so I'm not fully endorsing it because it could go in some weird directions, but I'm interested enough in it to be about halfway through the book. It's about 175 pages, so I think it's worth a look. I also got on a little bit of a Nicolas Cage tear and watched Wild at Heart. Love that movie. It only grew my love of David Lynch. Laura Dern, she looks fantastic and acts awesome in that movie. And William Dafoe. I mean, it's not a horror movie, but it's an amazing movie. And like I was talking about earlier, I'm a big Adult Swim fan, so Smiling Friends season 3 is coming out now, so I'm going to be watching that. And I finished up Alien Earth, and if you haven't watched that show and you're an Alien fan, you need to get on that. That is like the best Alien universe material that has come out in a long time, and highly recommend it. But that's what I've been up to.
Sweet.
Wow, high praise. That does it for our review on Mandy. We want to say thank you to Bear Claw for joining us. It's been awesome.
Thanks for having me. Fun hashing out Mandy. This is one I've been waiting for a long time. So thank you so much for having me on and listening to my mad ramble.
And if you want to hear more of Bear Claw is on the Mouths of Madness podcast. You can go and check out any Mouths of Madness episode on our YouTube channel, or you can go to your favorite audio platform and listen to them there.
Halloween 5's coming up next. Yeah, me and Kevin.
Yeah.
Halloween 5.
Kevin made me watch it.
That episode's gonna kill me.
I reviewed that one. Count me out.
We'll be back with a new episode on Straight Jacket Talk, and we're going to be reviewing Bear Claw's favorite, The Crow from 1994.
The fact that we kept referring to it and I forgot we were actually doing it.
I forgot that was the next episode as well.
Spend Halloween with Straight Jacket Talk and Eric Draven. It will be awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to come on, Bear Claw?
It can't rain all the you're constantly misquoting. It can't rain all the time.
Because I wasn't paying attention.
It means that things get better. It means that things get better sometimes.
Not in that movie, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Worse.
Every second is better than the last.
0.5
Every
stars.
second is better than the last.
No. 0.5 stars. The Crow. I'm calling it.
Oh, Lord.
We also have links in our description for any of the movies that we talked about that we reviewed. And we also have a link to Gill's Goodread. We'll be back soon. But until then, back to the padded room with you.